One. Hey, welcome to the 8 a.m. Coffee Podcast with your hosts, Asher and Paul. How's it going over there?
It's going good. It's going good. It's a late start, but you know,
Same. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about something we are calling the quarantine blues, which we're pretty sure everyone has experienced so far in some capacity, but probably a little different for everyone. So, Paul, what has that looked like for you so far? Should we just jump right
well,
in? Let's do it.
we can jump in just a second. Also, I need to be very honest. I only feel obligated to be on time when somebody else is on. We've reached that point of our relationship
Uh huh.
where if we're on time, we're on time. If it's just us, whatever. No, I'm joking. Don't take that seriously. Um,
Although
we
it is
can
true
jump right
today.
into it. Yeah, it is today. We can jump right into it. Hold on, let me
Hey,
share
we're
this.
also going to do a giveaway today. So if you're tuning in, we'll kind of tune back in with it here and there, but it's going to be pretty cool. Like you can get an actual physical gift.
Yes, a couple of them actually.
Yeah, a couple of them. How many? Three? Three different things? What are we giving away?
Yeah, we're gonna give three different things away. Three different things.
Cool, cool.
So, a couple of things to wear and a couple of things, well, one thing to drink, and that's it.
Yeah, and if there's
So,
anything you can do to fight the quarantine blues, I think shop therapy is a real thing for a lot of people, and getting something for free is like an even better version of shop therapy. So, hey,
yes,
what
yeah. So, so you want to talk about the blues first
let's
or the merch first?
let's why don't we tease the merch and then we'll talk about the blues.
Tease the merch. All right. So first of all, just to tease the merch was not donated. We purchased it. So I want to be sure that the folks out there, the fans, if you will, I like to say if you will a lot, but the fans know that we have not gone out and asked for anything for free. We are fully what we can financially supporting the community, and that we actually went out and purchased these items that we didn't go and say, hey, we want you to give us some stuff or anything. And in fact I think I'm the one that went and got it, and they said, hey, what do you want? And I said, all we really want is to buy it. Like, that's the biggest thing. And there was no hesitation, there was no pushback on please don't buy it, let us give it to you. It
Right.
was, well,
Okay.
okay.
Cool.
So yeah, yeah. So anyways, it's gonna be really hard for me to drink coffee until we talk about it, but we'll go now. So let's talk about the quarantine blues. Just in personal conversations you and I had have
Yeah.
um off air, we were talking. Let me stop real quick. We've always talked about being transparent.
Yes.
We've always talked about being real. We've never said, hey, we're going to hold back and only show the good stuff and the positive stuff and everything. And I know we don't really talk about um, the quarantine or the BC or the Rona, whatever we're calling it today, a lot because we want to kind of spin it away from that. But
Yeah.
it is a real thing that's out there. Um,
Yeah, and it
and
doesn't mean that the episode is going to be a downer, but
yeah,
we do want to get this stuff out because we know that everybody is at least for a day or an hour having a tough time with it. So,
yeah, and honestly, with them, for people that have kids, they just announced that Knox County, well, and, statewide, but I don't get into politics. The governor gave each county the option. That's why it had to come from the counties that they are not going back to school,
right.
and which is now the new normal. The other thing is to sit and when we sit and think about it, man, we've only been doing this for 31 days right now. Like,
Right.
it, yeah, and there are people that are jonesing to get out. They want to go. Whatever. We're not going to talk viewpoints and political stuff. We're just talking actual truth that everybody's that everybody's kind of dealing with,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
if like you don't get to go out and see people right now. And even if you're an introvert and you don't want to like necessarily talk to people, going places is still a real thing.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to people that want to quote unquote just go to coffee shops and not be talked to. They just want to be around people.
Yeah, and just be out and
Um,
like in a different environment. And I keep
yeah.
telling Lindsay like I miss being able to go to Trader Joe's, which is right across the street, and buy like 5 things, as opposed to
Mm.
going on a Sunday morning when like nobody's at Kroger and getting like literally everything that I can, you know?
Yeah, and it's like if I could figure out an excuse to leave the house every day, I would. Like I have one every day, and then I have to sit here and go, "Oh, is that real or no?" Or
Right.
I mean, but that's just how I'm built,
Yeah.
and everybody in the house knows that, I mean, we have one of our kids is also an extrovert, and they're always like, "Can I go? Can I go?" And I'm like, "No, you can't." So, I mean, everyone's dealing with it in their own way. You know, I just don't know. Seriously, man, I'm to a point of I don't know what to do right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, and there were something that I told you. I have actually suffered with depression before. You know, now granted, I was told it was a situation and a season in my life, not that anything was wrong with me.
Right.
But like we have waves, it just seems like when you get stuck down, you're like, man, I just want normal right now.
Yeah.
And even though people keep talking about this is the new normal, well, nobody wants it.
Right.
like, nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Like if this was a high school girlfriend, I would have broke up with you 3 weeks ago.
High school girlfriend named Corona.
Yeah. Um. So, uh, yeah. Go ahead.
No,
No.
I was just gonna say like I've experienced the same kinds of things. Obviously different for both of us, but for me it was situational too. Like it was a job that I used to have, and actually went to counseling for it. And
Mhm.
by the way, if anyone is doing that, no shame in it at all. If anything, I applaud you for it because that can be tough, especially for me. I'd never thought that I was an anxious person. I never
Mhm.
dreamed that I would be called depressed or call it depression myself. But it got to that point and I was like, I don't know like what's wrong right now. So
Mhm.
I went to counseling, and what was cool was the place that I where I worked like paid for it. It was a church, um, and just started talking, and then like well, it seemed like 5 minutes in is probably just a few sentences in, and this guy was like, "So how long have you been depressed?" And I was like, "I'm not depressed." Probably even said it with a smile, like, "You're crazy," and he was like, "You most definitely are. Let's talk about it." And I think that depression doesn't have to be like a clinical thing or a diagnosis or
Mhm.
anything. But like you said, there are like the highs and lows, and it's different for everybody. So so I think for me that has that has come back a little bit, but in those waves, like throughout the
Yeah.
quarantine, and it really hit like just a couple days ago. I was telling you after we did 8 a.m. coffee, like, man, I did not want to get out of bed and do this. And that's what
Yeah.
happens. That's how it manifests for me is like I'll wake up and it can be something as small as like a weird dream that I just had. And I'll wake up and be like, ugh, I just can't get up and like do things today.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it's happened so far. But then we did this anyway. We had Micah on the other day, and a couple minutes into it, I was like, "Ooh, I'm glad that I did this because as an extrovert,
Yeah.
I have to have this human connection, and that's another thing that's helpful for me." So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Y- Going back to if you're going to go and talk to somebody, there used to be a stigma, like a really bad stigma on,
yeah,
in fact, not to bring up, again, transparency.
yeah,
Like it was, it was attempted to be used against me in a custodial case. Now we're way past it. We're
Yeah,
8 years
yeah.
past. Like we're good. I don't. But it was, well, he goes and sees a psychologist and a psychiatrist. First of all, I went to the shrink, and they were like, "You don't need drugs. You just need to talk to somebody."
Yeah, yeah.
Like they were like, "You're not what they're calling clinically depressed. You're
Hmm.
just having a bad season." Like it's like, hey, everybody has bad weeks and
Right,
months,
right.
and you know, yeah. But that's where I got the. I don't. I've said it a lot, but where that's where I got the "you're allowed to have a bad moment"
Yeah,
from. Like, it's okay. It's okay to have a bad moment, but don't let it don't let it go too far. Like when you can get over it.
right.
And that's not and you know, a lot of people, you hear that, oh, just get over it, you're going to be fine. Oh, well, maybe I don't want to be right now. Like, let
Yeah,
me wallow in my pity for the next 20 minutes.
yeah.
Because for you, you said I don't want to get out of bed. I know this sounds crazy, but I stopped talking to people.
Hmm.
Like, I'm like, leave me, I don't want to talk. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah,
Like, and now, not to say I don't need alone times. So, you know, again, different situations. But if it's hey, I don't want to talk to anybody for hours, there's something going on.
right.
If I'm like, hey, give me 30 minutes where I don't have to answer a question, that's just me wanting to get rid of my kids. So, also, like, people that are ready for their kids to go back to school, there is nothing wrong with you.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I can only think of like 5 people that are like, yay, I get to spend 24 hours a day with my kid. And I'm like, nah, we good. We good. Um, yeah. So whatever you're doing to deal with it and to cope with it. And the thing is social interaction is a lot of times like is the way people get over it. Like people
Yeah,
go to the
yeah.
gym or they go shopping or you know, not that I suggest this, but they go to a bar. I never suggest drinking when you're depressed. Or they go to a coffee shop, or they go and just see their friends and go out to eat. You know, I mean, like there's ways to get out of it, but
Right,
usually it's a social thing. And because we're in a physical distancing kind of way, we've all got to figure it out.
right.
You know, because, you know, like I said earlier, we're a month into this, you know, and it's gone from in a week, it's gone from let's do everything. And I think as a society as whole, right?
Hmm.
Like the majority of the pie has gone. And again, I say this without starting anything political because I won't talk about it. But from what I've seen, the majority of people or the majority of society has gone, you know, let's do everything we can to keep away from each other
Hmm.
and to do this and let's see it through. Yeah, that was a week ago. And this week it's forget it. I don't care. I'm going to bug the system. It's time to get back to normal,
Right.
everything. You know, and whatever your views are, whatever you think is the best thing, whatever your straight C average in high school that all of a sudden made you a perfectionist and an expert on pandemics, I congratulate you on your online degree from West New Hampshire University or whatever the fake college was when they what was it, West New Hampshire Technical
Yeah, something.
Institute. Well, whatever, like that's great. Like that's great. I mean, I saw somebody share a meme the other day, and all I did was I just said, "Hey, I may believe this a little bit better if it was spelled correctly and there weren't spaces and then I can't say that,
Pronounced.
punctuation marks,
Oh, gotcha.
and with you know, like it's like a space exclamation point. I'm
I
like, come
love
on,
that.
really? Like also diarrhea doesn't have an O in it. I just need you to know that. So
Doesn't even sound like it, by the way.
yeah. No, but you know, I mean, figuring out what it is. I mean, I saw somebody complaining about the hours changing in stores. But the other thing is I don't actually get that too upset when people complain
Yeah.
in social media. they're just trying to have a conversation
Yeah.
and trying to be social. And maybe that's just part of their personality is they need to argue.
And see,
Like,
like
yeah,
that's why I like to troll people who are complaining on social media to try and get them to see like it, not just that they're being ridiculous, because a lot of times what they're doing is just trying to like work through something. And
yeah,
Facebook is
they're just trying to
here.
vent.
Facebook is here to where you can just like put all of your thoughts on there, which is scary. Um, but I think it just it feels to me like a lot of people reaching for something, and not necessarily just being stupid or necessarily trying to stir the pot. Although there are people who are stirring the pot constantly, politically or with Corona or whatever you want to say about it. So I was going to
Yeah.
say, like, now that we've kind of gotten this out, this idea of like what the quarantine blues is and what it's been for us. I would love to hear from people who are watching and listening. Like, what has this been like for you, and how are you dealing with it? Because I think for
Hmm.
me, a couple different things that I've been doing. Like, I stayed crazy busy for about 2 weeks straight. Posted like 25 music
Yeah.
teaching videos to YouTube, and just felt so productive. And I get a lot of energy and life out of productivity, like when I know I've made something good.
Yeah.
Um, but then it was like, hey, gotta slow down, gotta stop, you know, trying to achieve. Um, I don't know, just trying to like do a bunch of things and sort of ignore feelings, because I was starting to feel like, man, this is like
Hmm.
weighing on me. Like, not being productive, but the whole situation is weighing on me. But I'm not
Hmm.
really like putting time and thought into why.
Yeah.
And until I do
Hmm.
that, then it's just gonna sort of fester and
Yeah.
like be in the back of my mind. And then what happens is I have really low days and I can't figure out why, and then I have to
Yeah.
like shut down and sort of think through it. So I don't
Yeah.
know if any of that made sense.
Yeah. No, it did. I was told last night that you need to get out and work. Like,
Yeah.
you need to, like, like, it was like, I don't even know if you need to have a fake service. Like, like, just make food.
Yeah.
Like, it might be worth it just for you to cook and throw it away at this
Hmm.
point.
Yeah.
Because like our professions are so tied to who we are as humans
Yeah.
that to get it out, like, I mean, I can, like, we talked to Kelsey yesterday and it was the look on people's faces. Well, it's great that you're doing, like, people are doing live shows, but you can't see them.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see them.
I can't imagine what that's
Like,
like.
oh,
Wild.
and you know, like, I was doing those cooking videos just to do them, honestly, just to have something that I was planning.
Hmm.
But then it became so in food service, at least, there's a rush about the wild, about the unplanned, about the chaos. There is when I had a psychologist is during marriage counseling. Actually, she
Hmm.
said you're the only person I've ever met that is an extreme planner and thrives in chaos at the same time. I
Right.
can tell you by planning and organizing this podcast, I am not an extreme planner. At least I don't. But I am when it comes to professional like when it comes to
Yeah.
kitchens.
Right. Right.
I am very like it needs to be muscle memory,
Hmm.
things like that. But I love the chaos.
Yeah.
I love the, oh no, we're about to be out of something. We got to figure out how to either sell it out so we don't have to out it the rest of the night,
Right.
or hold on to it for those last five guests. One of those things.
Right.
By the way, little hint
Yes.
for everyone listening, especially if you're a server. Chef's 86 things, which means say we're out of something
Hmm.
when we have two of them left every single time. Just need you to know that
Hmm.
every time, because inevitably one more person's going to come in and ask for it,
Right.
and that server is going to just go ahead and give it to them when they're like, "Oh, I didn't know it was off the board," right? I
Perfect.
didn't know, which is fine. I've been that server, by the way. So, and we always hold another one back just in case of some crazy like complaining guest that comes in.
Right.
It's always two. And if you're not holding two back, that's my suggestion for the day.
Yeah.
Hold two back.
Yeah. Smart.
So
real quick.
what?
In,
Sorry.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
comment.
There's a couple people in the chat. Brandon Dunford said, "I'm going crazy. I love my kid, but bro, all caps, save me." We're really excited to have you on, by the way. And then Vicky said, in a nutshell, oh, she said, Asher, you just explained me in a nutshell. Bad day, don't know why. Yeah. Canceling school. Hold on. Canceling school was a major extra bumming moment. Yeah, for real. I can't imagine. Man, and I have even been feeling a little guilty about like I'm still able to work. It's not as much as usual, but it's still there. And some days what I've been trying to do is just like do that work, like teach really good lessons, plan for them well, get the notes out to the students well, and then just like be done, like disconnect from it.
Yeah.
Which is really hard for me because, like you're saying, like my, I guess you could say identity. I don't know. I'm like thinking through this as we're talking about it, but like it's really tied up in like what I do and who I am as a teacher of music and things. So yeah, but yeah, I get that, Vicky. Like having a hard time finding drive to do those things where everybody's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, you have all this extra time, like do those things that you weren't going to do before. And I think if you take a day and just don't do that, totally fine, probably healthier.
I we actually with our companies push mental health days.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are very much like, now they have to be planned kind of thing. But and when I say planned, I mean like 1-2 days out.
Yeah.
Like if somebody comes to me and goes, "Hey, look, is there any way you can cover me tomorrow? I just need a break. I need a mental health day."
Right.
Right? We also allow ourselves to do that. Like when I say we, I mean me. I allow myself to do that. Like, hey, I know I'm going to be fine today and I know I'm going to be fine tomorrow, but the next day I'm just going to go crazy, right?
Yeah.
The issue here is that there are no mental health breaks right now. Everybody's doing the same thing. So, you can find yourself if you want to, and that's great. But we've talked about it. Does the work landscape look different now? Are people going to be working from home? Everything. I think honestly, on a mental level, I don't know if it's worth it. There's something about going to a building. There's something about leaving work at work and leaving home at home.
Yeah.
Where because if you're, and I'm just going to use call center representative just because I don't know anything about it, but what I can imagine is you deal with one bad person because everyone's so lovely when they call a call center, I'm sure. But you just brought negative, let's call it energy, but negative vibes, negative energy, negative feelings into your house now.
Right.
When it involves work. And sometimes at work, you need to be like, I just need 2 minutes, man. Just no one talk to me for 2 minutes. And, if you're single and you live at home, that might be, I need 2 minutes to talk to somebody that is, at work. If you're married or in a relationship where they live with you or whatever that is, whatever that looks like, you can't really look at them and go, hey, you know what? I don't need to see your face right now. I need you to go away from me.
Right.
Because I just need to like decompress.
Yeah.
And then, and it's illegal to murder your children. So like, I mean, not that I would ever really think about that until they start getting the breakfast dogs out of the bottom of the freezer, which is what they're doing currently. So, no, all jokes aside, I think they do a little bit. I think they do because they're like, oh, he's a little nicer when he's on. No, I'm joking. I'm really nice to my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get what Brandon's saying. Like, I love my kid. I love them. I love them. I just, want to hug them so tight right now. So, no, no, but especially like I think about the people that live in apartments and condos
Yeah.
and the houses that are stacked on top of each other out here in Hardin Valley. Like they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going? Like, there's no riding your bikes on the street. At least you're not supposed to.
Is that
And
true? Because I've seen people do it. I don't
I,
like
I
that they do
don't
it.
I don't know the rules. I don't at all. Like here is part of my thought process because I have read scientific things that say we may be social distancing till 2021, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Like now they may be extreme. Again, people, no conspiracy theories, whatever.
Sure. They might look
But
different too, if
but
that's even the case.
but think at that for a second, which means if you're healthy, stay home. If you're healthy, go out and do stuff. And if you're not, stay home. Well, you don't know if you are. Like, I mean, there's so many unknowns and nobody can do the right thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can do the right thing. I don't, I don't, I don't care what decision is made. Nobody can make the right decision right now.
Right.
Somebody's going to have a disagreement and an argument with any decision made, which is honestly why I don't voice my opinion because I I'm a challenger and my personality is I'm going to come at you if you disagree with me. I mean, I legitimately posted, I don't think we're reopening on May 1st. And it became an entire political rant on both sides.
Of
And
course
it was like, this is not what I was meaning. I was just meaning to say, I don't think we're opening. I don't think we're opening. You know,
I loved it, by the way.
yeah.
I,
But I mean, people were looking forward to summer vacations.
yeah.
And now it's like, man, we may not be going on vacation.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's the 1 week they look forward to the most every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Break
Outside of
from
Christmas.
normal
Christmas
life.
is supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, another thing that I haven't been doing is just, like, leaving the house to go
Yeah.
just drive or something. Like, with the dogs, we've mentioned this. But I did take them yesterday just to go to the bank to do, like, an overnight deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was great. Still wasn't, like, human interaction, but it was it was at least, like, seeing different things than walking around the neighborhood. And on that note, like, I know some people are getting out to like drive by a place like a coffee shop, for example, and pick up a couple things from there and just have like that much interaction. That kind of thing for me can make like all the difference for the rest of
Mm-hmm.
the day. Like even doing this, like I was saying on Tuesday, it was just like woke up feeling depressed, feeling down, can't do anything. And as soon as we were on for just a couple minutes, it was like, hey, I feel so much better. I feel like I can actually be productive today. So,
Hey, hold on. There is something I do have to say
okay,
muted.
okay,
So,
go for it. Make sure you're muted though. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So also, if you're down there in the chat, what have you been doing to, like, where have you been going? Like, what are the few places that really do help give you some energy and give you some of that drive back? Yeah, because I mean, driving to the bank was just some boring trip if it was like a month ago, but yesterday it was like, hey, this is kind of cool.
I will tell you something that I did. I treated our home refrigerator like it was a work one and reorganized the entire thing. The entire thing. Like I put a dairy shelf in there,
Nice.
a produce section, like a pan, like so. And this is, I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about these before. So you can buy these. They're called deli containers, but you can
Right.
actually purchase them. A sleeve of these, which is like 25 of them, is like $3.
That's how much queso
And then
I want, but the
and
smaller
then
ones is how much queso I get.
so this is a quart, this is a pint,
Right.
and then this is a half pint or a 1 cup, right? And they all have the same lids and they fit on top of each other. So I completely pulled everything out of the refrigerator and actually scooped everything into the delis and then put lids on them and put them in the refrigerator and organize the whole fridge.
Nice. It does for you personally. Does organizing give you like what do you get from that? Is it hard for you
Um,
to do things like that and like cleaning? Because for me, it's like one of my favorite things to do.
I love it, and then I also think it's not worth it at the same time because because children. I don't know what to say.
Makes sense.
No,
It makes sense.
so I know my faults, which are, hey, I have an idea of how something is supposed to happen and when it's going to happen, and the timeline and the order, and I have it all in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't talk about it, and then I expect people, and I know that this is probably my biggest fault, and then I expect people to do. Sorry, I'm reading the chat at
No.
the same time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
expect people to do what I think in my head without me telling them.
We
It's
are
horrible.
we are the same in that aspect. And I know we don't dive into like Enneagram stuff much because that's one of those things that you can't win with. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I know that with ones and eights, those kinds of things are very closely tied to where you can sort of like mistype basically. So, yeah, I feel that. I feel that really strong. I think that's been something I've been trying to do with Lindsay here is like not just expect you to um, do everything that's in my head or know everything that's in my head
Right.
because that's
Oh, I get
insanity.
called out. I get called out for it a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
which is a good thing, right?
like, hey, that's great, but you didn't tell them.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you ever say
like
that out loud?
no. Also, like, but I mean, you know, it's. I'm also a total hypocrite. I really am. I'm like the worst. I'm like, pick up all your stuff, and I leave a cup hanging out on the counter all
Right.
the time. I'm like, oh, by the way, I want to show everyone my little Chemex.
The most adorable Chemex that's ever
If
existed.
you have not, as crazy as this sounds, this actually fills my scientific need as well.
Mm.
Because there is a process and there is measurements in
Yeah.
grams. Even the liquids are, which is weird because grams and liters are the same thing in the metric system when it comes to water. But water weighs
Woof.
the same as it is volume. So
I knew that in high
little,
school at some point, I'm sure, but I forgot.
that's one of the few things that culinary school taught me. So culinary school, by the way, not to go into that,
Sure.
culinary school taught me how to be out till 4 o'clock in the morning and show up to work at 6. That's what it taught me. So, but this is a little 3 cup, and I love it. I think now's a good time. You want to
Yes.
drop the? You want to talk about the merch?
Let's do it.
Okay.
It is
So
from a delightful place down Kingston Pike, correct? It's the Garage
yeah,
Door
now they
place,
have a
right?
downtown.
Oh,
They
I
have a
didn't know that.
downtown as
Okay.
well. They have a South Knoxville as well,
Whoa.
and
Blowing up.
part of my getting out on that was the fact that I was able to go into the store, abide by the 6 foot and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to just stand off to the side and talk to them. Now, one of the guys that works there, he is one of the owners of Knox Worst food truck as well, and that is I don't want to give too much of their business away, but he he
Oh,
he
good.
works at he works at it is Honeybee Coffee, by the way.
Okay.
Honeybee.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Honeybee.
Honeybee Coffee. So that's why I've been drinking with my cup this way. So, and we were able to just shoot the bull
Yeah.
with about food trucks and what's going on and what they're doing. They us and a couple of other ones were the ones that really first kind of took the stand of we're gonna shut down.
Right. Right. Yeah. Tough
Uh,
too. I'm sure. Crazy tough.
so the merchandise,
Yes.
we've discussed the merchandise, right? Or have we not?
We discussed a little hint of it, but we did not get specific.
All right. Okay. So
Unless you mean
hold
you
on
and
just a
me.
second.
You and I talked about it for sure. But
Yeah, you and I have talked about
yeah.
it. That's what I meant.
Oh,
Not
okay.
not anything. Hold on just one more time.
But not on the podcast yet. So if you're just tuning in, by the way, we're about to do um, give you some instruction on a giveaway that we're gonna do. Um,
Yeah, I don't know how we're giving this away, by the way. I have no clue what we're doing to give it away. Like, what are the steps and processes?
right.
I just know that we've said, hey, we're going to give some stuff away. That's it.
Yeah, I know a couple stipulations. What we would really love for you to do is go and like the Honeybee Coffee page. And I am going to go post this in the chat. Hold on. Let me go find that. And will you talk through what the other merch and stuff is?
Okay, so we've got three items. Three. So we're going to do a Honeybee mug, not one of their glass jars, but a mug. Remember, we are for the best way of saying this, doing it out of our own pockets. We're not asking for any financial return currently. I don't know. It may change. um,
Basically,
but
if you want us to keep advertising Honeybee Coffee,
yeah,
we'll
so
work
we need
something out.
no. Well, with Honeybee and it's going to be the same with every coffee shop. I
Yeah.
think we'll probably drop it every Thursday. There are plenty of local coffee shops that we can, and even carts. Like, let's not forget our buddy Adam down there at Refill. It's going to be two or three things each time, whatever kind of merchandise they have, as well as some of their coffee. So they roast and grind their own coffee. So it's the one in the pink, which is the Ethiopia Natural, and I can't say that word, but it's GEDEB, whatever that is. Gedeb.
Gedeb.
I don't know.
As long as it's
But
not
it's great.
the
They,
Yurgachev.
yeah,
By
and
the way,
they
I was just told that my level is low, so I'm gonna be just a little bit louder. I think that's better.
okay. And
Sorry. Anyway.
it's they went ahead and ground it for me for Chemex. Now they have a different grind, or you can get whole beans. So it's going to be a bag of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the mug, and then there. So he's got an old Ford F-150 that he put their logo on, and then they put it on a shirt. Now they have a couple other shirts and everything, and that's what it's going to be.
Right.
So those three things. A T-shirt. Now we're obviously going to have to find out what your size is and all that, and then we will, if you PM us, it will, if and when you do win, if you we'll send you a private message, and then we'll mail it to your house from them. So not from it'll come directly from them to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Hold on just a second for me.
Sure. So I'm gonna post the coffee page right here for Honeybee.
So yeah.
I think I'm
And
a
they're
little
aware
louder
we're
now,
doing
too.
this. This is not anything that we are unaware that they're doing. Hey, can I ask you a question? When it says, I'm sure this Ryan guy, you believe him when they say your levels are low.
Yeah.
Does that mean your just volume is low, or you need to speak up, or does that mean his headphones are turned down?
Well, I'm definitely not gonna speak up because I feel like I'm pretty loud. My mic level is low over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it because he compares me to you? Is that what it is?
That's probably part of it.
Okay. So just really quickly for Ryan, that commented, my friend wrote a paper in college, a 17-page paper called "Why is Paul Moody So Loud?" and he got an A on it. I need you to know that. So
That's my favorite thing that I've heard today.
Hey, Cher. I love Cher.
That's amazing. Yeah. Ash Boo.
But
I haven't been called
no,
Boo
he
in years. Sorry, go ahead.
He legitimately it had to do with like yesterday was National American Sign Language Day. So if you follow me personally on any social media platform, you will see that I did a video primarily in sign language, but then I voiced over it on one platform and did not realize that I shared that video in all the stories because I was not going to do it in voice form on every social media platform except for one. Because basically I love being that antagonist a little bit when it comes to sign language. Like, you want to know what I'm saying? Figure it out. But it was basically a shout out for American Sign Language and my mother. But that was part of the subject. It also had to do with being in kitchens. It also had to do with needing attention as a child. and my raising of my household on my father's side.
Gotcha.
So and the crazy lifestyle that we lived in, and all of those things. But I mean, he had it like backed up, like bibliography, like research, everything. Like he wrote a paper on it,
Wow.
and it's ridiculous. And it's not 17 pages with the attachments. It is 17 pages of just straight writing.
Right.
And it was supposed to only be like 3 to 5 pages or something like that.
Oh my
But he was
gosh.
like, I got so into it.
So he wrote like
I was like,
a thesis on you.
Yeah, but it was legitimately called "Why Is Paul Moody So Loud?" And that's it. I've only met one person that's louder than me. So.
Can we get a copy of that? Can I like read part of the transcript on the air?
I have it somewhere, but it's great.
Hey, why don't we do this? I'm sorry, I just interrupted you. What if you sign for everyone how to spell coffee in sign language, and then the requirements for this merch is that they go to Honeybee and take a video of themselves signing something. Is that too much?
Yeah, that's too much.
Oh man, I thought it'd be cool. Get people out of the house.
Yeah. Why don't we do a selfie in front of either of the Honeybee locations?
I'm fine with it.
Posted and tagged our social and their social both.
Perfect.
That's easy.
Yeah. Will you say it all one more time so I can type it into the chat?
Okay. So
take a selfie.
So get out of the house.
Get out. Get the.
Yeah. Take a selfie in front of either the South Knoxville or the Kingston Pike location. The South Knoxville's on Sevier Avenue. Kingston Pike is at Kingston and Level, right there next to Sonic.
I'm not gonna
cross the street.
Don't tell them where. I mean, they've got the internet.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's gonna be like a Google thing. Look it up.
It's a scavenger hunt. I wanted it to be a really elaborate scavenger hunt, but let's not.
I'm trying to figure out if people may have one already. So
have one what?
Have a picture of Honeybee on their phone. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Oh, Photoshop. Don't you dare Photoshop.
You've got till you want to do the drawing on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we'll put everybody's name into an auto populator. There's an app on auto populate that'll auto populate all the names, and it'll just spit a name out for you.
Perfect.
It's like reaching in and grabbing something.
Yeah.
Tag. You have to tag on any social media.
Yeah.
So your 3 big one: Instagram, Facebook. Do we have a Twitter?
We don't have a Twitter. We don't have a Twitter yet. We can do that.
So 2. Instagram, Facebook. That's what you got.
We have barely an Instagram, so go check that out and give us a like and a follow.
Instagram and Facebook, selfie, tag, and then we'll enter you into it. It's for a T-shirt, coffee mug, and a bag of coffee.
Perfect.
So
cool.
Yeah.
I'll get all that typed in here. So we'll take a selfie.
Which is about seriously, that's a $50 thing, man. That's like a $50. It's $50. So.
I love it.
It's a $50 prize pack. Prize pack. He's not getting fed fast enough, by the way. That's what's going on with this kid. He sees the bottle and he's like, why is it not in my mouth?
We'll do a drawing. Sorry, everyone. We're like making the rules as we go. But this is cool because now we have the stuff for like future drawings and stuff. I'm excited about it. I don't like that you pooped on my ASL idea, but I'll get over it.
Yeah, it goes down the route of maybe insulting someone.
Too
so
gimmicky.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of,
that's just me not knowing what I don't know.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't want anybody to, especially my mother, to come over and beat me as a 42-year-old man. Really speaking of which, we talked about the last time.
Yeah.
One of the conversations with the kids last night was, when was the last time you were spanked? Like, when was the last time that you got spanked? Right? Because we're not a corporal punishment house. Like, we'll just take your stuff away house. So
get grounded house?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I was grounded more than spanked, but definitely spanked. And I'd, No regrets.
I lay the hammer down and then like take it away. Like I'm like, all right, you can come out and belay now, you know. Uh, um, but it was, when was the last time you were spanked? And I can tell you the last time I was spanked. I was 17 years old in the middle of our high school foyer by my father. So, and he barely touched me, barely. And he just did it in front of everybody at school to try to embarrass me. That's what it was.
Did it work?
No, I became more popular.
Amazing. Does that feed into your quarantine blues at all? Full circle?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
no. You know, actually, man, you know, we've been, and I think everybody, I think you have to give allowances for people, you know, especially, uh, I think I think we're elite parents. I try to be an elite parent.
What does that mean?
And okay, so you have to, so with so many kids, they have so many different personalities, right? And you can't treat
Right.
each one of them the same.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's the same as adults. Like like you can't treat every adult the same. They don't react the same.
Right.
But also they don't have the maturity and the communication skills to tell you what they need currently. So like if you've got a 6-year-old going buck wild and crying, well, you've got to figure out what's going on with them
Sure.
before you're just like, go to your room, you know? You know, so it's like, hey, what do you need? Like, and it could be, and we've given them the, um, we've given them the green light to say, hey, I need this. Like, like, you know, like, because I think the majority of our kids are more introvert and more self-sustaining, you know.
Gotcha.
So it could be like, hey, you know, I just really need some extra screen time. Like, I need to go watch a movie by myself in my bed. I need everybody to leave me alone. Like, one of our kids needs to go outside and sing like she's in Frozen. Like, 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 like she's dancing in the woods and like all that. You know, one of them, it might be, hey, I need to go and build Legos. It might be, hey, can you come play basketball with me? And I'm horrible at basketball. It could be anything. Like it just, and we don't always give in, and we're not always like 100% all the time. Like we're not perfect. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, nobody's the perfect parent right now.
Nobody's
Because
perfect.
also like, I, and I'll just speak for myself. I know she does as well, but we need things too. Like we need the leave me alone time.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, I get it. You're asking me for something, but right now I just can't give it to you.
Hmm.
Come back in 30 minutes. We'll do it then. So again, I'm not the perfect parent. I don't claim to be the perfect parent. I think I'm good at it. I think I'm good with people. I try my best, but you know, I mean, it could be, you know, Ashley sitting over here right now. It would, you know, sometimes it's like, hey, her saying to me, what I need from you is everybody to go away and us just to sit and have coffee or not even talk. Like they're like, I just
Just
need you to be next
presence.
to me.
Yeah.
I just need you to be next to me. And, you know, and in any relationship, it doesn't just have to be a kid thing. Um, I think we get away from the asking for what we need a lot. I
Yeah.
think it's just a, hey, you should know me, and I expect you to know exactly what I'm thinking at this moment. And it goes back to the
Right.
I expect you to know what I want without me telling you.
Insanity.
However, you know, I've been looked at plenty of times. I got to be careful how loud I admit to this, where it's no, she knows she understands me,
Yeah.
but it has to be, you know, a hard look in the face going, I know you need something. I don't know what it is. I need you to tell me. And once you do that so many times and so often, and this isn't a first year, 5 year, six, you know, early marriage thing. I mean, I've seen people married 50, 60 years that still have this, like, I don't want to inconvenience them by telling them that I need something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which then you go, all right, well, if they told me exactly what they needed, I would do it. Right.
Right.
they feel the same way.
Yeah.
100% of the time, they feel the same way. So, anyways,
Just good
we
communication.
dropped in viewers because we talked about. Do you think that we don't get a lot of viewers in the morning because it's so early, or?
I think possibly. I do. Ooh, man, I need to go make some coffee.
It's a little boy. I love it.
I like that. I do like the big boy though because Chemex filters are like kind of expensive. And I was talking with Ryan Reed, recent guest of ours, and he was saying on Facebook that the reusable filter is like not as good of a cup of coffee. So definitely shell out for the paper.
Also, hey, before you get to the point that you were about to make, to piggyback on what I was talking.
Yes.
You and I never need to reference anything as little boy and big boy ever again.
No, okay? Probably not.
Okay, cool. Good. Just putting that.
It's spelled cool. BOI, by the way. I was just thinking those are our new podcasting names / 90s gangster rap names.
I was thinking about Outcast, but I just did the breath.
But I'm big boy. And anyway, God, I don't remember what point I was about to make.
We were talking about telling people what we need from them.
Yes, we were. And then we talked about coffee. I was just going to say I like my big Chemex because I can make enough coffee for the rest of the day, which is kind of gross because it gets to like room temperature or I refrigerate it, which I know is weird. But if I refrigerate it, I mix it with like milk and sugar and like blend it up. So I'm a big like homemade blended coffee guy.
I found a recipe and I for 2 cups, I found a recipe for 2, and I altered it just a little bit, just for me, for my flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this like pour straight into my chemistry, like need, like, first of all, it's in a beaker, like
it has Kim in the name, you know,
but so I can make 2 cups of coffee, and that's like the perfect amount for me.
Yeah.
Also, I really kind of love the anticipation of waiting for it.
Really?
I really do. Like, don't get me wrong. We normally use a Keurig, and I love the Keurig because you just hit the button and walk off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's a lot like wine, bourbon, beer.
Yeah.
Like you can taste the notes and the soil and all that. It's always weird to me to talk about being able to taste the soil in wine. Why are you eating dirt, homie?
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I get to. I think it's kind of a response to the whole like the culture that Vine got us into with the 6-second videos. It's like things need to be immediate. Man, I find myself doing that if I'm watching a YouTube video that I really need to watch, like something that's about home improvement, fixing something, or like something music wise. I'm like, just get to the thing. Like, I don't want to watch all this build up.
I've got something that may trigger you. That is a personal habit of mine.
I can't wait. I'm in a good place today. Let's do it.
I don't ever finish a song. I always end it at 10 seconds and skip to the next one. Hey, Asher. None of that's true. I just wanted to see your reaction.
I just don't know why. People really do that, though. And whether or not you're trolling me, which I love, by the way.
I 100% am right now.
The thing is, people do that.
Did you not see my face start laughing as soon as you took your ear?
No, I didn't see anything. I blacked out. My headphones fell out. My glasses fell off. I kind of get it.
Oh, that kind of made my day. I'm not going to lie to you.
It was a little dramatic. I was acting just a little bit. I will be.
If we ever clip a video, that needs to be the first one, right there.
Yeah. We really should do that. There's some good moments here. We could do the Gary Vaynerchuk thing, and I think he would be proud of us when he finally comes on the podcast and just curses his brains out. It'll be so much fun.
Yeah. So anybody that's maybe we should say this out loud for anybody that wants to be on. First of all, we'd love to have anybody on because this thing is about absolutely nothing, and everybody's opinions matter. But we stray away from cursing a lot. And
It
that
doesn't mean we
is,
don't do it.
no, not at all. I very much agree with the shirts that say I love Jesus and I curse a little bit. So, but, but, but I think it takes away from it if you don't, if you do. And also, like, for me, I've got kids running around and,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so.
Well,
However,
I like keeping it family friendly.
Yeah, I do have a funny story about cursing when it comes to kids.
Did you teach them how?
No, I accidentally said something, and then they didn't hear me. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Hey, man, I gotta stop talking. Jonathan Darling, just stop talking. He's gonna make some kind of comment." Oh, he's gonna plug Impact Knoxville.
Oh, there
Look
you
at
go.
him. Look
There
at
you
him. I
go.
love it. If he's gonna plug it, I'm gonna keep talking.
Go right
But
ahead.
I was like, oh, I didn't mean for you to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Uh, if you heard me curse, just know that I don't do it a lot.
Right.
Right. So I cursed in front of my kid and lied to them all in the same sentence. Um, it's a joke. It's a joke. And she goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. I cuss more than any of my friends do." And I went, and I just looked at her. She's like, "You can't get mad." I'm like, "No, I can. Yes, you
So-
can. No, like,
In that
no,
moment,
you cannot admit that."
did any part of you in that moment feel like I need to teach you how to cuss the right way?
No, a lot of me in that moment wanted to celebrate. I have to be careful how I say this because my wife's right over here, but she's not awake, so I'm not worried about. Wife's awake, kid's not awake. We're the worst homeschool parents, by the way. Just gonna throw that out there. No, everyone out there homeschooling their kids right now, you're doing better than us. We're good.
There's no shame here.
Today is National High Five Day,
Hey,
and that's kind of what I
let's
want
do
to
it
do.
virtually. Boom.
Do you want to do the Demolition Man?
I don't know that one.
You not seen Demolition Man?
Wesley Snipes?
So they
Don't
go
remember
high
it.
five. They're not allowed to touch, so they do high five and then do this.
Oh, God. I don't remember it because it's a terrible
They're
movie,
also
right?
they're also out of toilet paper and they have to use 3 shells. Like, it's very eerie currently.
That's interesting.
But what is the question?
I don't
I don't know the question, Jonathan. Oh, I wanted to give her a high five. Is what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like you only figure out how to curse by doing it.
I think, Jonathan, this works well because sometimes I don't remember things that I said. Sometimes I do, and they're really important to me, and that's all in my head, and I expect people to know what's important to me without me saying it. Full circle again.
Also, I completely know that Jonathan is probably watching on a computer because he called me pale. So,
Right. I like it. Hey, let's go ahead.
That video yesterday that I did post on my personal thing was to Jonathan, and he was in the woods hiking, and he was very like freaked out. He was like, "Oh no, am I supposed to be on a call right now?" So we talked a little bit.
Oh,
so
fun. Hey, I just wanted to plug the giveaway thing one more time because I did post the instructions on here, and I'm going to read through them real quick. So we're doing a giveaway with some Honeybee Coffee merch. So all you have to do is take a selfie in front of either the South Knox or the Kingston Pike location of Honeybee Coffee, tag us, 8 a.m. Coffee, and then tag Jonathan's still like railing on you, and then tag the Honeybee Facebook page, and we'll do a drawing. We'll put everybody into a hat and do a drawing on Monday for a mug, a shirt, and a bag of coffee, right?
hey, and I'll give everybody double entrances if they tag Gary Vaynerchuk too.
Oh God, it's gonna happen one day. I love it.
It wasn't funny.
It was kind of funny.
You don't have a good sense of humor. Whatever.
You don't need to fight. Just duke it out. Cool.
No,
Well,
he whipped me, man.
oh yeah.
He would, dude. I've been in 7 fights in my life. I've lost every one of them. I've lost them all.
It's
Like,
it's
not
more
even
than
close.
me.
Like,
It's more than me, but same. Um, cool.
I
Well,
love you, Jonathan.
hey, we're coming to the end of our time here, so
Oh yeah.
we're gonna wrap things up. I did just want to say because we never plug this, all of these episodes are anywhere that you find podcasts. If you want to listen to the audio as you're hanging out during the quarantine, you can also find them all on YouTube. It's just an 8 a.m. coffee page. Type in 8 a.m. coffee, it should come up. You'll see our faces. It's a good time.
Do we want to start talking about the other thing yet?
Oh yeah, so we have a Patreon page too, and I really want you all to go visit it because I put all of the different tiers together for like you can give us money, and yes, this is at least a little bit capitalistic, but also we're giving 50% away to Second Harvest Food Bank. If you do want to donate anything to us, you can do as little as $1. You can do as much as like 100, and I think for 50, I put that Paul is going to do a TikTok dance once a month if you keep contributing. So we might have to go change things now that he knows that. I don't know.
No, I don't care. I'll do it. Also, hey, just really quickly, Second Harvest Food Bank, that $1 that you donate, the 50% that does go to them does feed one person one meal.
Yeah.
So you may think that $1 isn't a lot, but it will actually feed. It will buy and purchase one meal for somebody. And if you've never been hungry before in your life, that's awesome. But speaking from somebody that knows people that have been hungry, and even myself, that one meal may be that positive thing that gets you through to the next day. It's a big deal, but it doesn't cost that much to feed somebody through Second Harvest Food Bank.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason we chose them.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, they're doing a really cool thing and making it happen for people. I was also going to say, like, we titled this episode The Quarantine Blues. I would love to do this again, maybe on a weekly basis, but I was going to say, if anyone's checking this out, like, shoot us a message. Like, if you're having a rough time, like, we would really actually love to hear from you and just see, like, just listen, basically. Just read your message and say, like, hey, the situation is crazy. Like, the situation is crazy and you are not crazy. So
100%.
Cool. Any closing thoughts from the Moody House?
Nah, I'm ready for it to be warm. Like
actual warm, not just sunny.
Yeah, like let's do it. So yeah, I'm just ready for it to be warm.
Yeah.
I need to cook some. Yeah. I may cook today. So
cool. All right. Well, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
Hugs and hand.